The JERD Nation Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is GGTV, and this is Tyler and I, and we will be discussing the latest big bad monster mashup between Godzilla versus Kong.
Listen, all I'm saying is, if you're not Team Godzilla, you're not.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Exactly. Thank you.
I don't see how anybody could see something that you can see at the zoo any day, and then see a fucking giant nuclear lizard and go, I like the zoo animal.
Oh, not the zoo animal. Listen,
I'm not a Kong hater by any means.
Right.
I love Kong. But I mean, like, how can you look at the two and just not root for Godzilla? Like, he's so much fucking cooler.
Here's the thing. I also love Kong. I loved Kong Skull Island. I loved the 2005 Peter Jackson King Kong film. When he was ripping the T-Rex in half, that was badass. And I was also 8. But that's beside the point. Godzilla 1, way more history. This is, I think, the 58th or the 60th Godzilla film.
Yeah, there's been a fuck ton.
King Kong film.
And it's one of those things where, like, Godzilla, you could argue that Kong has some of the better movies.
Mm-hmm. I would agree that I would say King Kong probably has the better movies. I mean, Godzilla was influenced by King Kong and also, like, the nuclear testing back in 45?
Yeah, like the World War era.
Sure. Because they were still recovering after 45. And then the Japanese movie industry finally started to recover. And they didn't rush Godzilla out the door, but it definitely was like a boom, boom, boom. The second one was for sure. Definitely a cash grab. But the first one was a really, like, solid film. It was very deep and emotional. And I really enjoyed it. The first King Kong film was also phenomenal. For, like, the 30s, like the standard, holy shit.
King Kong's a simp.
Also, but not this Kong.
No, this Kong says, no, the old Kong. This Kong says, fuck that.
Yep, right.
No,
I don't need them.
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, what did you think of the film overall? I mean, I think a lot of people they went into Godzilla versus King Kong expecting a Scorsese film, and I'm like, dude, it's a movie about a giant radioactive lizard and a big ape fighting. Like, why do you expect a crazy plot? I think for me, my biggest complaint is that there was way too many human scenes, and not enough monster stuff. But I mean, like, when you get the monster fights, they do take up a chunk of the film. I would rather hear, like, human dialogue while we watch Godzilla walk to go where he wants or something. Like, I don't know. I found it very hard to care about the humans.
I thought it was kind of weird that they brought back Millie Bobby Brown and the dad. They spent maybe one scene in the movie together or two, I think. Just unnecessary. Like, you could have brought back Millie Bobby Brown. That's fine. I get it. She's a big star. She's also like all those kids are growing up so fast.
Yeah, she's what, 17 now?
Mm-hmm. She was 16 when that movie was supposed to come out in 2020, but she's 17 now. Hollow Earth was dumb. I hated that. I had no idea what was going on. It was very underexplained, in my opinion. I was also drunk and it was 4 a.m, but that's beside the point.
Are you talking about, like, where it shows where Kong grabs the axe?
Yeah, like, how did...
Yeah, they just kind of were like, hey, here's this radioactive glowing axe. And because from the moment that you see Kong, like, where he starts leaping around and stuff and then grabs those, like, purple rocks, and, like, the purple glowing rocks on, you're just like, what the fuck what is going on here, you know? And then there's a lot of stuff where I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. My biggest complaint is how they handled Mechagodzilla.
That was another point I was going to make. I did not like the military presence. I understand that it's always been there with Godzilla. I get that, and that's the main reason why he was invented in the first place. I don't know. It just kind of... I was disappointed about Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, I mean, he was only in the movie for like 15 minutes, and, like, he fucked up a couple cities. or a couple buildings, and then just like got destroyed by Kong. Like, didn't even really put up a fight with Kong.
Okay, first of all, hold on, hold the phone, because Godzilla. Obviously, if you have watched the movie, then you know. If you haven't, then stop watching this. So Godzilla won round one. There's a lot of human intervention with Kong, where Godzilla was
and Kong was tied up. He was definitely tired.
And also, Godzilla travels through the water. That's his way of getting around places fast.
Right.
He's a fucking.
He's basically a big ass Gyarados.
Exactly. He's just fucking vibing. That man moves fast. Well, not man, but you get it. So Godzilla clearly won round one, and the humans were like, "Shut off all the ships so we can trick him." And he was like, "Yeah, that's what I fucking thought, you bitches." And he went away, and that was fun. And then round two, Kong won very clearly. He fucked with Godzilla, sent him flying to some buildings, and Godzilla did not get up for a little bit. And then we got some human scenes that were kind of unnecessary, but whatever. Then Godzilla got up, and I've never seen that thing move so fast. Because like in the first two movies, when he's on land, he's not moving around that fast. You know,
he's
logging, whatever. But here, I thought he was Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's kind of what I like about Godzilla in the newer films is he's more killer-like. He's not clumsy, and he's a legit. Like, he's always going to be a threat because he's a big fucking dinosaur. Right. But I mean, the fact that's what I liked about the Friday the 13th remake is that they made Jason fast, they made him smart, and like he could get from point A to point B, and he always had shit planned. And that's kind of what I liked about this take on Godzilla is that he like you said, he fucking books it, man. He gets from point A to point B. I just think it definitely seems like more of a Kong sequel than a Godzilla sequel.
Oh, that's the thing. Because I mean, I get it. Godzilla had two movies, which technically 1.5. He was barely in the first one.
No, hardly at all.
But in the second one, which I love King of the Monsters. I've watched that movie twice this year in preparation for this one. I loved every second of it. Every second I saw of Godzilla, I could give.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's the same. I have the same problem with all of these things, and it's not just Godzilla movies or anything like that. Like even like Freddy versus Jason and stuff like that. Like anytime there's a big monster, I hate when they focus on the humans too much.
And don't get me wrong, like there have been Godzilla movies where I have enjoyed the human characters, for sure. I love Final Wars. That movie is all over the place and it's fucking phenomenal.
See, I like the 1998 Godzilla film, and I know everyone hates it. What'd you say? I liked it. I need to rewatch it to see if I like it now. I loved it as a kid, and I mean, it got its own cartoon.
Phenomenal cartoon, by the way.
Phenomenal cartoon. They had toys everywhere. I think maybe it's that I like the marketing of it more so than the film. You know, like the posters were really cool. Godzilla looks badass in my opinion.
I mean, you could argue that same way with the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I love the marketing of that movie. I thought it was going to be the best Spider-Man movie ever. And I still love that movie, but it was also a dumpster fire, which is the same as I would say for the 1998 Godzilla film, because I tried to watch it again like a couple of years ago whenever it was on Netflix. God, if you want to talk about boring human characters that take up a majority of the film, that's it. And I love that.
They had the dad from Small Soldiers, right? You remember Small Soldiers, right? The dad, he's one of the characters in it, right? The fat dude. Huh?
Is he the cameraman?
Yeah, he might be. And then I know there's obviously Matthew Broderick.
I can't remember the girl's name. But they're all so much better in the cartoon. It's like night and day. It is so drastic of a change. And also Godzilla ran away from the military the entire movie. He wasn't trying to fight them. He was running away. He was running all throughout New York City. I just don't know what's going on.
I think that's the perspective of the film, though, is it's supposed to humanize him and make it to where it's like we're the bad guys. Because I mean, a lot of times we kind of are the bad people.
Without a doubt in my mind.
There's a big ass monster, and he's not fucking with us. He's just chilling on this little island. Should we fuck with him? Samuel L. Jackson in Kong Skull Island is a perfect example.
Yep.
Because Kong was like, y'all do you, and then I'll go, and then that's that. And Samuel L. Jackson's like, we need to kill this motherfucker.
Why? He's not doing
it. What did Kong do to you?
That's the main thing. And also, in Godzilla vs. Kong, they randomly introduced, I don't want to say her name wrong, but they randomly introduced her, which I get it. Kong Skull Island was set in the 70s, like 1973, I think.
Yeah.
And so obviously she wasn't even alive because the movie is set in 25 years, so 19, 20, 22. So
2008?
It's basically set in 2023.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, I need to know how she came into play. How was it her? Because they threw a lot into this movie that was very unexplained.
Yeah, that's kind of one of my bigger problems with it is it's a mess. But then again, it's like mess. Yeah, like I don't really care about certain movies you kind of dismiss. You're like, all right, I like superhero movies. You're like, while you're like, oh, I want this plot. Like, I guess it's kind of different because they started making competent superhero films. But for a while, you're just like, I'm watching superheroes save New York City because without fail, New York City is always getting fucking destroyed in every superhero film. There's always something bad happening in New York. You know,
it's always.
That's the thing. As I try always, literally always, like Avengers, like even in Godzilla, like aren't they in New York?
Godzilla, the first one, the second one they're in Chicago a lot, and then this one they're in Hong Kong for a majority of the film.
Yeah, I mean, like, what did you think of the battles and?
Oh, I loved them. I thought they were great.
Do you think the film lived up to the hype, or do you think it's like?
I personally think the film lived up to the hype. I enjoyed all the, because some people only watch the Godzilla films for like the Kaiju battles. I'm one of those people. I like backstory, and I like. In King of the Monsters, there's an Anguirus. He was the armadillo one.
Yeah.
There was a little cameo that he had in Godzilla's lair under the earth, or in the Atlantis area is what I'm going to call it. There's a little Anguirus skull just outside the little gates. I'm so sad. I'm one of those people that watches Godzilla films or the Kaiju battles. I love Godzilla's roar, especially in like the 2014 and on.
Dude, his roar is fucking phenomenal.
And when they were just yelling at each other, I was just like, yes, that's what I wanted. This is all I wanted to see.
I love when it looks like he eats like 8 atomic burritos and he just spits into the water, like, spits fire.
Okay, can we talk about real fast how him and Kong got to round 2? Because Kong was in Hollow Earth, his home. And then Godzilla was just like, oh, is something down there?
Right.
And then it just made that whole, he just looked down like, are you there? Real fast, little bitch. And Kong was like, okay, fuck you, dude. And then he started fighting, which is fine. I don't give a fuck. It's a monster movie.
Right.
But it was just kind of dumb.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this film where it's like, you're just like, all right, this is what it is, I guess, you know? And I almost feel like the directors were like, they knew how we are. And like, we're just like, this is a movie about big ass monsters, so we can have plot holes and no one's going to really care.
I didn't care.
I didn't give a shit at all. That's the thing. I was like, I'm watching this movie because I want to see 2 big ass monsters go at it. And then you get Mechagodzilla.
I was walking in Walmart and I was in the toy section, as people tend to do. And I looked up and I saw Mechagodzilla. And I said, it said Godzilla versus Kong. And I said, what the fuck? Really? This is how I find out?
Because he was in the teaser. He was in a trailer.
In a second. And I was just like,
Toys have a really bad habit of Toys and Funkos have a really bad habit of spoiling shit. Funko Funko is pretty good about it now. You can tell that they wait until it's been out to release stuff. Like when WandaVision came out.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it seems like toys and Funkos are like, or bobbleheads and things like that are like the ways to ruin movies if you haven't seen it, you know. I'm trying to think. That happened to me not too long ago. I was in the toy aisle and I was like, what? Like, I had no idea that he was going to be in this, and you just ruined it for me.
I was so upset. I mean, like, and also Mechagodzilla is one of those enemies. He needs either a full hour or a full movie. Like the first hour,
I like Mechagodzilla.
I do too. He's one of my favorite Godzilla villains. Next to him, Destroya, RJ, my roommate, and I were talking about it. We're gonna see Jet Jaguar come back sometime. He probably won't, but hey, we can dream.
Kong or like Godzilla, like the MonsterVerse has so many wild and weird monsters that I like that. That's kind of like with Ninja Turtles, man. Like Ninja Turtles has so many wacky villains, like Mutagen Man and Muck Man and stuff, like just disgusting, weird creatures that you're just like, I like that, you know. I think Godzilla, the MonsterVerse is very toyetic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's why NECA makes so much money just releasing different versions of Kong.
Oh yeah. Also, what pissed me off was Kong and Godzilla are the last two known Titans. What the fuck happened in the 5 years? Because when King of the Monsters ended, there was Rodan.
Yeah.
There's like all these other kaijus surrounding Godzilla. What the fuck happened? Are you telling me Godzilla went around, boom, 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 and just started killing them and was like, okay, well, what's he gonna do when they're fucking dead?
Was fun. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good question. I don't think anybody, like, I don't know, like they just weren't there. Like
they weren't there. It pissed me off a little bit. I mean, obviously, I didn't give it.
It would have made sense if they would have shown him in the cave or something. Like, been like, this is how.
Like maybe they went to Hollow Earth.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Like it could have been a Hollow Earth thing. Like I don't.
That's the thing. It was just so like. Oh, by the way, there's a place called Hollow Earth that might be Kong's home. Oh shit! It is Kong's home. Now he's in a throne with an axe. I get it. I understand. I'm just upset. They set up so many potential like routes they could have gone with King of the Monsters, and obviously it was leading to Godzilla versus Kong. But the fact that all those different kaijus are now just dead with no explanation kind of makes me upset.
You could have just had it been like, because they make Godzilla seem like he's the villain. So you could have just had Godzilla wipe all of them out for like the first 30, 40 minutes, just go where he looks unstoppable.
Right.
And then have Kong come in and have him beat Kong's ass like he did. And then have the second fight be like, oh, Kong can contest with him, you know, and then let the third one be. I would still have the third one be Godzilla beat the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. So that way it makes it to me, that makes it where Kong saves Godzilla. That makes it seem more impactful where you're like, wow, like he, you know, like Godzilla is unstoppable nearly and Mechagodzilla almost killed him and Kong saved him. And then you establish a respect factor that ultimately ends up to the end that leads up to the end that we saw where they walk the other way.
And so now it's just like, now that Mechagodzilla, because he got mutilated. I mean,
just straight up destroyed.
Oh yeah. So what do you, because Adam Wingard, I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but he was talking about how like, I think people are ready for monster movies to have less humans in it. I agree.
100% agree.
I'm not watching for the human melodrama. It's a subplot in my eyes. Some of them are really good. Like I said, I've watched many Godzilla films where I actually enjoyed the human subplot and the human characters. Because I got like attached to them. I thought it was really cool. But
yeah, I mean, like in Kong Skull Island, you know, I developed a liking for Tom Hiddleston's character,
John C. Reilly.
Yeah,
I loved all that cast. I loved Kong Skull Island's cast.
Kong Skull Island is a very enjoyable film because it has everything you want, you know, like to a casual moviegoer who's not like a film snob, you know, you want to see a somewhat established plot.
Mm-hmm.
A good soundtrack is always welcomed.
Always.
You want to see good action sequences, and then an epic ending. You know,
Right.
and I think Kong had all that.
I think the first Godzilla movie had all that too, except it just not. First of all, you killed off Bryan Cranston way too damn early. 40 minutes into a 2-hour film.
I remember that 2014 Godzilla film being kind of a mess.
See, whenever I watched it like in theaters, I went with my mom because she liked Breaking Bad, and that was like the first Bryan Cranston project after Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to go see Godzilla, like fuck people up.
Didn't get that.
Saw it for 14 minutes.
How do you have a movie called Godzilla and an hour 46 of it doesn't even have him in it? That'd have been like Revenge of the Sith with like 10 minutes of Sith Lords in it. And the other 2 hours being about Jedi.
That's the thing. Like, you need if you're gonna have humans in like a monster movie, you need to have a solid balance for sure. Which I think Kong Skull Island did in spades. There was a lot of Kong in that movie, not in the beginning, but more so like towards the middle, especially the end.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Kong, and I love that. And he was still growing, which I thought was a nice detail because it's the 70s. Damn, Kong is old as hell, huh? Jesus. But like in 2014, in 2018,
What?
King of the Monsters came out.
Yeah, 2018.
I thought that had so much Godzilla, and I was such a fan. I loved that. I loved the fight scenes. I thought CGI looked really nice. King Ghidorah looked badass. Mothra was cool.
Mothra was cool.
I miss Mothra.
R.I.P.
She's the best.
Overall, so overall, what did you think of Godzilla versus King Kong? Was it all it was cracked up to be? Did it leave a little bit to be desired? How do you feel about it?
I'd say it definitely left a little bit to be desired in terms of Hollow Earth and how that was kind of undercooked. I thought the action scenes lived up to the hype, especially the last one in Hong Kong, especially with Godzilla and King Kong teaming up to take on Mechagodzilla and having that mutual respect. Because Kong knows Godzilla can whip his ass. Let's just be real.
Right.
He knows. He's like, I'm not going to fuck with you anymore. And Godzilla's like, yeah. So I thought the Kaiju action was great. I thought the plot, obviously, I don't give a fuck to the plot. Just show me why they're fighting, and then show me them fighting, and I'm there. I give like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at with it. I would assume 7 out of 10 is the equivalent to 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Tyler and myself discussing Godzilla versus King Kong.